We are so back. It's another edition of the No Pulp Podcast. We've got a good one for you, that's for sure. That's Matt Zumbolo. That is Danny Tao. I'm Trey Redfield. Guys, it is so good to be doing one of these again. I remember doing one of these with Matt, and it was with Ben Schulman as well. And, you know, it was on Zoom. It sucked. I mean, I had a backwards hat and everything. Everything just didn't seem right. But now we're here. And we're living. I didn't fall on my bum out on the snow today. Life is so good.
That would have sucked if you fell.
Yeah, I've seen you fall before.
I almost have fallen. I almost fell this morning.
I saw you fall on your own sidewalk.
You
once.
did.
It was really fun.
In my own driveway, I fell.
You haven't fallen or anything. You know, you got to stay. You got to stay alert when you're out in the snow, especially when it's a little bit icy out there. But you know, as it's icy right now in Syracuse, things are heating up all around the college basketball world. You look at Villanova and Providence. That's where we're going to start off. 10th ranked Wildcats taking down the 8th ranked Friars in Rhode Island, the Dunkin' Donuts Center. A lot of donuts going down in Providence, but Villanova taking it 89-84. Big reason why, guys, Colin Gillespie, 33, career high. I mean, this is going to be a dogfight for the top of the Big East. Does this prove maybe Villanova, it could be the best team in the conference now? Are we seeing the typical Cats going on top here?
I don't know if you can definitively call them the best. I mean, Providence, you know, they were caught in foul trouble for a lot of this game, didn't have a lot of their best players, so it's an impressive win, but the best? That's too tough.
Who would you say is the best in the Big East then, Danny?
I don't know if you can definitively. I think it could be Providence still. I know they just lost this game, but they've arguably been the hottest team in the country.
That's facts.
And it's so impressive how well they've played coming from just no expectations early in the year, especially.
It's so funny, you know. I mean, I like this Providence team so much because of Ed Cooley. After that game, this man said, "Oh, you know, we're still atop of the standings. Like everything is fine." I mean, hey, you may have just lost to a team that was ranked lower than you, but this man is straight up saying it doesn't matter. This team is going to be fine. Life is going to be good. Everything's just going to be all right. You got to give it to the man. You got this guy has confidence in his team, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Providence has been a good team all year. They're 21-3, which I mean, I did not expect that.
Coming to the
no
year.
one did. I don't think anybody could have.
Did.
Exactly, but you also can't be too upset with them. I guess upset is the way you can put it. But this isn't a horrible loss for them at all when you lose to a team like Villanova, especially with a guy like Colin Gillespie, who literally he's so good at basketball.
So
he's so fun to watch, and he shoots the lights out of the ball. He can do everything, score in every single way possible. But they both play one more. These two teams play one more time.
They do.
The 1st of March.
I'm excited. That's going to be a great game.
That's going to be awesome.
And I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to say that's not going to be the last time. These two have got to meet in the conference championship, right? It's only fitting. It's only fitting.
There's 6 or 7.
Who else would take them down?
There's 6 or 7 teams in the Big East that can never run the title game.
The Big East has been very, I think, underrated is a way you could put it, but there's some really good teams. I mean, Butler, Xavier, and Creighton, just to name a few. These 3 teams, specifically ones that Providence plays before they play the Wildcats again on the 1st. So they've got these 3 games to pick up, I guess, redemption that they need from losing this one.
I think the most impressive part about this game, Gillespie, 33 points. He didn't practice leading up to this game. He was playing on a swollen ankle.
Yeah.
And he still put up a career high.
Yeah.
He's been having so many issues recently with that ankle, and
Can we establish
a
Big East champion yet, or are you guys still
Absolutely
not
in a million years?
I mean, you look at last year, Georgetown won the tournament. I mean, literally, it could be anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
That same Georgetown team is not won a conference game this season. But hey, you never know. You never know. Anything could happen. And, you know, what Villanova did going into the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which is actually, I would argue, a very hostile environment. You got to give it to the Cats.
Yeah.
All goes down in the Mecca, though.
Providence had over 70% of their undergraduate student body in attendance at that game.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
How do you do that?
I don't know how they get that many students to go.
How many?
They have around 4,200 undergrad, around 3,100 students.
I saw that,
So
and I was shocked I saw that stat.
So
I was like, how do you get that many people at a game?
No one is set on a Big East champion yet?
I can't pick one.
Shouldn't
I
be.
mean,
Shouldn't
I
be.
still think that there's got to be 6 or 7 teams in the Big East that could win the tournament easily.
I mean, as you see, UConn's in the top 25. Xavier flirts with it. Creighton flirts with the top 25 as well. It really could go either way in the Big East, but I will forever say the old Big East is better than this new Big East. So can we go?
That's a conversation for another day.
That's another
I
day.
agree, but it's a
That's
conversation for another day.
Another day. But let's keep it with men's basketball, and we're going to talk about the SEC. Tennessee, 16th ranked team in the country, taking down 4th ranked Kentucky, 76-63 with emphasis, boys. And a big reason why, though, was because Wildcat point guard Ty Washington, he left the game early, but you got to give it to this UT squad. 5-game winning streak. Are we seeing something change in the SEC? Where the Wildcats due for a loss? How are we picking at this SEC upset here, boys?
I mean, the Wildcats they've been so good lately. And I mean, you can't even be too, I guess I'm saying the same thing again. I said with the Providence game.
I mean, as you should, though,
It's
right?
another loss.
It happens.
Yeah, it's another
It
loss
happens.
that doesn't really hurt Kentucky, I don't
No.
think. They may drop a few spots in the rankings, but I don't think that they should really. This is really going to hurt them come Selection Sunday.
No.
Or even conference tournament time.
I mean, they're not going to be an SEC champion. I wouldn't say they're the best team in the SEC. I would argue Auburn is the best.
Argue.
It could go either way.
Auburn, but
It's either one of those teams that are winning the SEC. Whoever wins is going to be a 1 seed, and whoever loses is going to be a 2.
I can see
And
both
it's-
of them being a 1 seed.
And I can see both of them being in the Final Four. Like, both of these teams are really good. Tennessee has the capability as well. I mean, when you get Ty Washington back, he's not out for the entire season.
No.
This guy's going to be back in a couple of weeks. He's going to be fine. This is something Kentucky needs to see, though. I think this team needs a little bit of adversity.
Yeah.
They have everything with them. You know, they got Shebway, they got just so many guys that can get it done. With one guy going down, this could give this Kentucky team some hope if they come out of the light with ease.
Mm-hmm. And something that I'm focusing on with this loss is, they lost by 13, but they beat this Tennessee team by 28 a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. They dominated them.
A 41-point swing. I mean, I can't think of off the top of my head a swing like that between 2 games, at least this year.
That's insane. That's so many. That's so many points, which is like
Too many
obvious. Such an obvious.
The scoreboard's
statement,
gonna get lit up, and the PlayStation's gonna break. It's gonna be like, oh, you can't play anymore. You dominated the scoreboard too much. But I want to talk about these teams going into March. I know we talked about the seeding, but how far do you guys see Tennessee? Let's just go down the line, I guess, in the SEC.
All right.
Best 3 teams: Tennessee, Kentucky, Auburn. How far do you have Tennessee going in the Big Dance?
I mean, personally,
Is this Sweet 16?
I'm
Maybe?
not a huge Tennessee fan.
Really?
I'll be honest. I mean,
What's the deal?
they're a pretty disciplined team defensively.
They are. Rick
but-
Barnes got it going. Man.
Yeah, but I think they struggle on the rebounding. And rebounding can be so important come March, especially on the defensive side. You got to clean it up, limit those second chance points. And Tennessee's like 160th in the country in rebounding, 162nd.
That's not going to cut it.
That's not going to get you far in
That's not
March.
gonna cut it.
That is ripe for an upset on the first weekend of the tournament.
I could see the exact same thing. I mean, they're a good team. Kennedy Chandler's a guy I want to highlight. I was big on him from the start.
You have
as
a
freshman.
highlighter? Can you write him down?
I can highlight it on my computer.
You can highlight. Okay.
Yeah, I just did.
With that ugly Saquon Barkley
Done.
sticker on your MacBook.
Yeah.
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 That's
Highlighted is done. But
You
Kennedy
highlighted it?
I did highlight
What
it.
color?
Yellow.
Okay.
Kennedy Chandler, yellow.
Classic highlight.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Only way.
I probably should have done orange, but for obvious reasons. But Tennessee's
Oh,
orange.
we go!
Orange, you see what I'm
got
saying?
Syracuse crazy.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
Tennessee wears orange.
Oh, that too. Valid. It depends on what type of orange.
Different
There's
shade.
the smoky orange.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
The Syracuse orange. It's different types.
But back to basketball,
yeah,
Trey.
yeah. Sorry.
Kennedy Chandler,
Orange.
one of the best freshmen in the SEC, and I've been pretty high on him from the start. I thought that he was going to have a really good year coming in, and he's been great for them. Like, I mean, as a freshman coming in, averaging 13.3 points per game.
Oh God, because you can't see. You got your
because I couldn't find it. Okay. I had to find it really fast, but I found it. But he's averaging 13 points a game with 3 rebounds and 5 assists. As a freshman, doing that on a team who has a chance to win a conference.
Potentially.
That's a really good look for them. But regardless, I think I have to agree with Danny. And
here's what I'm going
not
with.
very high that I don't think that they've got too much potential.
This is what I'm thinking with the SEC. Arkansas will go to the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee will get upset in the second round. I got Kentucky. I'm thinking Kentucky Final Four, and I'm thinking Auburn Final Four.
So you're gonna
2 SEC teams in the Final Four.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
With all the quality in college basketball this season.
Yes.
With so many.
Auburn is starting to have that.
I mean, I'm not doubting. That they're great teams.
Auburn's getting used to the top dog. Like, you're seeing all these games where they're losing by close margins, and they're starting to figure out like how to win these tough games and in tough environments. You never know when you're gonna have a tournament game where you're playing the other team and they're just 50 miles down the road. Like, and stuff can come up like that. Auburn is prepping for the worst come tournament time, and I think it's gonna help them out. So Kentucky, Auburn Final Four, Arkansas Sweet 16, Tennessee will be upset in the second round because of what that man said about the rebounding. Let's go to the women's side, guys. The ACC, we know it's really good, and this season has a lot of ranked opponents, 5 or 6 in the top 25. 24th ranked North Carolina was a team that upset 3rd ranked Louisville yesterday, 66-65. A nail biter in Chapel Hill, but either way, the Tar Heels still get it done in Carmichael. It's a really good UNC team, and it kind of paves the way for NC State being a clear top dog. The Wolfpack, they won back-to-back ACC titles. Can we solidify Westmore's bunch as the best team in the ACC? You're still rocking with U of L, possibly?
Yes.
Okay.
Louisville lost by 1 point to a ranked team on the road. That's like,
but
in terms of...
At the same time, you can't make Louisville a top dog.
But I don't think you can use this loss to knock them off that perch. This is not a bad loss. And just last week, they beat an even higher ranked team by 26 in their last game.
True.
So losing by 1 point on the road to a ranked team, it's not a win, but that's not really a loss in my book.
I don't even think this makes, even with a win, say Louisville beats UNC, I don't think this makes the Cardinals the best team. I would argue.
You can't say that yet.
Yes, I can. NC State's the best team in the ACC. You watch that game against Louisville in Reynolds over in Raleigh, which, shout out North Carolina. Where is it? Booyah. So that's kind of sick, right? But, you look at this NC State Louisville game. What was it? I think like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. And they were dominating NC State throughout. But you saw the Wolfpack just come back somehow in some way, just chipped away. It was funny. I was watching it, right? I turned it off for 10 minutes. And these cats are, up by 5 or 6 on Louisville. When you have a team that can do something like that against a talented Louisville squad, it's making me think three-peat for NC State. So I'm thinking NC State, best team in the ACC. Louisville will be runners-up once again in Greensboro. But at the same time, you cannot sleep on UNC. Will they win the ACC tournament?
Wow.
No. But this is a team that started out really hot, crushed Syracuse.
That doesn't mean much.
It doesn't mean much, but still, you look at it and you realize, oh my gosh, they held Syracuse to 40 points.
But
we saw the men's team that one year score 34, and we thought the sky was falling. Kind of was.
So
honestly.
Against Virginia?
Yeah, that Virginia game.
Yeah.
I was next to you at that game.
Oh my God! No way!
Wow! But anyways, I think we're sleeping on the Tar Heels, guys. I think we are sleeping on UNC. There's too much star talent. I love Alyssa Usby, how she's been able to control this UNC team throughout the year. I mean, you look at the coaching staff. It's just Courtney Banghart. You probably don't know that name. Remember when Princeton went undefeated and was botched as like a 7 seed in the tournament or something like that? Mm-hmm. She was leading that team.
Really?
She's bringing that winning culture to UNC. You can't put this Tar Heel group to sleep. The women's program at UNC, I just think, is so underrated.
You definitely can't put them to sleep yet. I agree.
No, you can't.
But I think, yes, a win like this is a big resume builder for them, but obviously it's a whole tournament.
This team's a 5
It's a tournament in itself.
This team is a 5 seed.
Obviously it's a tournament in itself. In the ACC, there's an ACC tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously not just a regular season
With
champion.
a lot of really good teams. I mean,
There's a ton of really good teams, yeah. But they have about a 5-game gap between them and NC State, who is the top dog right now.
You mentioned tournament, man.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I mean,
but
I don't think UNC is going to beat NC. I think NC State's going to win the ACC again. But at the same time, you cannot sleep on UNC going into the NCAA tournament. I could see potentially, obviously Sweet 16, but I could maybe see a regional final from these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, will UNC make the Final Four? No. Will NC State make the Final Four? I don't know either. They have a reputation in just hitting the hay early in the tournament. When they were a 5 seed a couple of years back, they lost to BYU in the 5-12. They lost in the Sweet 16 last season. So anything can happen in the wild, wild Atlantic Coast Conference in women's basketball. Let's stay with women's basketball, though. I want to go over to the Big 12. Texas taking out Iowa State again. 14th ranked Longhorns beat the 6th ranked Cyclones. I can't believe I almost forgot that for a second. 73-48 was the final. But is there a catalyst behind this Longhorns outburst? And if there is, who is it?
I think there's only one answer. I'm not sure if you guys have the same one, but Rory Harmon dropped 20 points, 6 boards, 9 assists, triple-double watch throughout the entire game. I mean, leading away to a 25-point. I think it's a little. It's all right. It's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. And that leads to a 25-point upset when you're 8 spots back in the rankings.
Yeah. Kind of wild.
That's a big momentum shift, I think.
Huge.
Texas just
huge big gap guy right
And I'll say, Rory Harmon was impressive, but this was a team win. You don't hold the number 6 team in the country to 48 points.
You don't.
Win by 25 without team effort on defense, team effort on the glass, team effort on offense. All phases of the game. And Texas got it done.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Do we have and I know it's February, and thank goodness it's February because we're just getting closer and closer to March as it goes along. Whew. I'm asking for a calendar.
We love March.
I can read a calendar. Do we have a Big 12 champion on the women's side, guys? Is it there? Is it not? What are we thinking?
I think
because there's Iowa State, there's Texas, there's Baylor, there's Kansas State.
Baylor.
You think it's Baylor?
I do. I think
do.
That
Matt
this game,
Zumbolo does.
I think that this game makes a pretty big difference. Dropping Iowa State down, not even in the rankings, but more of losing a game like this is just a tough look for Iowa State, and it's going to give Baylor the edge to take over the number 1 spot in the Big 12, and then eventually keep the momentum, ride it through the tournament, and cut the nets down.
Cut the nets.
I think they even cut the nets.
Yeah, something like that.
Conference
Raise a
champions,
trophy,
but you know
go
what
to
I'm
a
saying.
tournament,
Get a trophy
play more
or whatever.
basketball, something like that. Iowa State is 6th in the rankings. Baylor is 7th. Danny, you have a Big 12 champ yet? Or do we have to play the waiting game like we did with the Big East?
Obviously, there's a lot of basketball left to be played, but I'd say watch out for Kansas. Don't sleep on the JAYHAWKS. 6 wins in a row. They're getting hot at the right time.
Momentum.
And granted, it's not over the class of the Big 12, but 6 wins is 6 wins.
Yeah.
You can't discount that. And it's a team that's finding its cohesion.
It's more than 5, right?
It is more than 5 wins.
It really do be more than
and
5.
of those wins, they're winning most of those by double digits, too. So it's not just they're eking out these 1-2 point victories that they're maybe getting lucky in. No, they're conclusively winning these games.
Getting it done. Now we're gonna trade away the basketball, the nets, cutting them down, the trophies and stuff like that. we're talking lax, and it's unfortunate. You know, I just got a haircut, so my lettuce is gone. Tough break for Trey.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. What? You got a haircut yesterday too. Did you get a haircut yesterday?
I did not get a haircut
yesterday.
yesterday.
Did not get a haircut yesterday. Danny Tao is a little behind.
Yeah.
It's a little behind.
Gotta get out there.
But you know who was a little behind in Durham the other day, boys? Second-ranked Duke. They lost. They lost a lacrosse game to not just anyone major, you know, like Syracuse, Notre Dame, someone in the ACC. Nope. They lost to a team in the SoCon by the name of Jacksonville, 14-12. How in the world does this happen? We've seen this a couple of times too. You go a couple of years back. Duke lost to Richmond, another SoCon team. It was, I believe, 12-10. You know, we see Duke pick up a couple of these odd losses. I don't think it's comparable to Michigan, Appalachian State at all. Nothing will be comparable to that. You do like the little S-tier thing that you do when you're not paying attention to your professor in class. Michigan and Appalachian State is S-tier, but still, you look at this game and you're like, what is going on in the men's lacrosse world?
It was crazy. I mean, Duke lost half the face-offs, which immediately is a big problem. So you're going to lose 15 out of 30 face-offs. For a team like Duke, you probably should still be able to win the game.
Yeah.
But you don't have any sort of advantage when you're tied in face-offs with a team like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
If Jacksonville can stick up with them in face-offs, that's the only way they're going to stick into the game, and that's exactly what they did. They ended up pulling it out.
Yeah, and just like with Texas a couple minutes ago, it was a team effort. 14 goals scored by 7 different players. I mean, props to the Dolphins. They spread the ball around, and they're on an upward trajectory. It's not a historically great program, especially even by the standards of being in a mid-major lacrosse conference.
Yeah.
Not a consistent tournament team anyway, but they're on an upward trajectory. They're improving.
The SoCon is a one-bid conference, and I mean we all know that. We see whoever wins it is in. We've seen conference favorites lose in the championship game. Well, I mean most of the time it is Richmond and the SoCon Go Spiders, but this Jacksonville team is looking pretty darn good right now. The win against Duke, I would argue that it helps when you play Johns Hopkins before the week before Duke. So, and it worked out in their favor. 2-1 on the season. But I want to talk more so about this Duke team. This is what people care about more. An ACC opponent falling to a mid-major team, a team that's hasn't made the tournament.
They lost
at home
in Durham.
In Durham, North Carolina. We talked a lot about North Carolina. Love that. You see my computer. We love that. But, this Duke team, I'm not really worried about them. Did they deserve to drop down to 7th in the rankings? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know Michael Sowers is not there. But but you cannot fault this team so much. This stuff like this happens. Mid-majors upset powerhouses like it is in college football. The mid-majors lose to D3 teams sometimes in lacrosse. I'm not worried about this Duke team. I think this is the best we've seen the ACC. A lot of people are going to be surprised with Syracuse. Notre Dame is going to pick up where it's left off. The defense, it's the best defense in the ACC. Duke just has all-around great talent. I'd argue they have one of, if not the best coach in the country, John Danowski, legend. Talked to him in that seat that you were sitting in one time, Danny. I mean, this is a team we can't put to sleep. Cannot.
No, but it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. It's not, but I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried either.
Especially in the ACC, though, where I can't remember a time that the ACC hasn't been the dominant conference in college lacrosse. I mean, all 5 teams are ranked in the top 10, so losing an early game like this, it just puts you a step behind because you can't lose a step. When your competition has that much quality, you can't lose a game like this.
Yeah, you're dropping a game like this, and then you got to go in, just like you said, you got to go in and play teams like Syracuse. Trey's telling us that how good the ACC is this year. think about it that way, though. You lose a game like this, and you're coming in. Syracuse is going to look at a team like Syracuse or a team like Notre Dame. They're going to get Duke coming into them, and they're going to say, oh, they just lost to Jacksonville. So if we play anything like the way we should, we can beat this team.
Mm-hmm. It's a wake-up call. It certainly is a wake-up
call. Wake-up call is a good way to put
it. And honestly, I would argue that's what this Duke team needs. Just to wrap it up real quick, on the Duke schedule, you got 11th ranked Denver next Saturday, a team that is, and that's a big question mark, because Denver is a team that is really good at the face-off draw. Historically, it's been awesome. That's a program that's really been up and coming because of that. They've won a national championship. 17th ranked Delaware, just 4 days later, if I'm doing my math right, from Saturday to Tuesday. Is that 3 or 4? It's 3, isn't it?
That's 4. Is it
well,
4?
3 or 4, it doesn't matter. 3. My producer Liam Griffin letting me know it's 3. I can't do math. That's why we talk sports. That's just what we do. But this is a Duke schedule that's only going to get tougher. But I think it could be best case scenario that a wake up call is happening now. 3-1 on the year is Duke. Let's go over to women's lacrosse, and the defending national champions are really good.
Shocker.
Yeah, real shocker. Real shocker, Trey. Real shocker.
Is this much of a shocker, though? Boston College, top-ranked team, taking down Northwestern, who is a top 5 team.
No.
18-9. You guys aren't surprised that they doubled them?
No, they're so good.
They are.
I mean, yeah, they're really good. They're really good, but like you would expect it to be a little bit closer. I mean, this could have been a national championship game if Syracuse had lost.
I know you're talking about, with Duke and Jacksonville, these losses can happen in lacrosse, but with a team as dominant as Boston College has been over the last couple of years, I mean, they look unstoppable. I genuinely don't think there's a team in this country who, when Boston College is not having an uncharacteristic off day, I don't think there's a team in the country that can beat them.
Who do you think has the best chance of beating Boston College?
Ironically, I think it's Syracuse. I think.
So we're all in agreement. Okay.
So I was going to say the same thing.
I mean, they met in the national championship last year. Obviously, Syracuse, a new head coach, a new system, but it's a team that has a new energy. Megan Tyrell playing out of her mind. They could do. I think if Boston College is on their game, I don't think anyone can. But if anyone can, it's Syracuse.
How about this? Was this? Can we say this is a good Boston College win, or is this a bad Northwestern loss? I don't think that. I just don't.
It can't be a bad.
I just don't think Northwestern played well.
Yes, I'm. Definitely. When you lose like that, definitely.
Because I'm right.
But it's a good BC game. Think about it. They're the best team in the country for a reason, and they're the reigning champs. They should have performances like this. And you have a player like Charlotte North, who is so good. In my notes, I wrote that she is epic.
101 goals.
Charlotte North is epic.
You took that right out of my dictionary.
She is epic. That's literally the best way to put it. She had 7 goals and 1 assist. Out of the 18 goals that they scored, that's almost half she had part in.
That's great, Matt.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But that's insane. So I mean, if you have a player, even I don't want to say that lacrosse is obviously not a single player sport in any means.
No, it's not.
You can't. But she can dominate a game, obviously, and it helps big time to have a player like her. And I don't think there's really anybody in women's college lacrosse that can stop her, that can stick up with her.
I mean, no, and they can't. And just 4 days after that, they beat UMass 22-5. I don't know if you guys.
That is absurd.
There's this video
that is absurd.
On Twitter, and it was Charlotte North taking a free position on like the farthest to the left side of the 8-meter arc, and she just like takes one step to make sure she's inside 8, so it's not called a dangerous shot, and she like stings the top right corner, sidewinder, bang. Made it look so easy. It was probably the fastest women's lacrosse shot I've ever seen.
And you've seen a lot of women's lacrosse shots.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when you call a couple of games, when you run a little bit of the show over at the radio station on the other side. I mean, yeah, maybe you do call a couple of games and you see some. But I mean, gosh.
She's really, really good.
Really good.
I don't know what else to say except for that she's really, really
good. We're going
good.
to leave it at that. Charlotte North is really good.
And they're really good.
And even though Syracuse has the options, and we all think Syracuse could get it done, still got to watch out for the Dallas, Texas native. So, all right, guys. We're going to play a game.
Yes.
We're gonna
Love
play a
games.
game.
Me
I
too.
love games. Love games.
We love games.
It's a draft. You know how you have like a fantasy football draft, and you meet up with all your friends. You have a giant big board, and you draft Saquon Barkley, and your team's probably going to be dead last, something like that, right? You're drafting
That's
the Final
tough.
Four.
That's a tough look.
I drafted Saquon
That's a tough
Barkley.
look.
I drafted Saquon Barkley.
That's a tough look.
At least
for
you
us.
own it.
For our YouTube.
I drafted
for our
Saquon
YouTube
Barkley
viewers.
this year, and I did finish in dead last. So,
Whoa.
all right, game.
That's a tough look for me.
We're drafting Final Fours. We're going back to basketball. We're going to do a snake draft, picking Final Fours for both men and women. We're going to have we're just picking the best teams. So I'm picking a team, you're picking a team, you're picking a team. We're going.
Really?
Yeah. That's
Nice. We're all picking a team.
We're all picking a team. We're all picking a team, and they're off the board. So just we'll each have 4 by the end of this. That's going to be our team. And if our Final Fours suck, our Final Fours suck. And if they're great, they're great. You're not winning like
They're going to be good.
millions of dollars.
Mine's going to be the best.
Or a
But
Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Mine's
I
gonna
was
be
going
the
to
best.
suggest we have a sacco punishment for this draft, but
So here's how it's going to work. The women's for drafting the women's Final Four, it's a snake. So Matt is going to go first. Danny will go second. I will go third, and then I will pick another Final Four team, and then it'll just go around. If you've done a fantasy football draft, trust me,
you probably know how to do a snake
you
draft.
probably
know how to do a
know
snake draft.
how this is going to work.
So let's get
bear with
started.
us.
Trey.
Bear
Come on,
with
Let's
us.
get it started.
I got
I'm
a
ready for
feeling-
my pick. I'm ready for my pick.
It's South Carolina.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
You're unanimous number 1.
It doesn't matter. I was
Yes,
going to
it
pick
does.
it. Yes, it does. Let me pick my own
So
people.
angry. I love it.
Let me pick my own picks,
I
Trey.
like it when he gets angry.
God, Trey. But yeah, it's South. I mean, I don't even have anything to say anymore. It's South Carolina. They're 23-1. They're the unanimous number 1, like Trey said. I mean, Cuse legend.
Cuse legend.
Cuse legend
For 1 year.
for 1 year. But yeah, it's. I mean,
Hashtag miss you.
I don't even know what else I really have to say. I'll take the easy pick out of the way, and I'll shut up.
all right, my turn. I think we all know the best players show up in the brightest moments, and I think you might know where I'm going with this. I'm taking Iowa.
Whoa!
Early.
Whoa!
There's one
There
reason.
we
Wow!
go.
One reason only.
Wow!
Caitlin Clark.
Ratio. Caitlin Clark ratio.
She's so good.
Caitlin Clark is so good. I mean,
unbelievable.
it's just like Charlotte
we're gonna go
Miller.
down the line.
Nothing
for
to
every
say
sport
except
that we
for-
talk about, and we're gonna highlight one player. It's gonna be like, she's really good.
She's really
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
good.
27 points per game.
It's
like
unbelievable.
her stat line is mind-boggling, and
Give
Iowa.
it to me. We talked about this before, but
Yeah.
can you like say it again because it's like kind of crazy.
27 points per game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8
Keep
assists.
going.
I mean,
Keep
8
going.
assists,
8 rebounds.
8 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think we can say that
but-
that's pretty
All
good.
right. I'm gonna take note of these while you guys are doing this. So Matt
Okay.
has South Carolina.
I do, and I didn't get to make my own pick, but it's okay. We're not going to worry about that. Maybe things will change later. I have 3 more. I have 3 more picks on the women's side, so maybe I'll be able to make my own picks.
It's
next
like picking Chris McCaffrey the last 2 years. Oh, we all know what you're gonna pick. So Danny going with Iowa. Wow. Just leaving the door
That's
wide open for me to
Yeah.
pick the defending national champions. I'm going with Stanford as my first pick, and it's really cool because I get 2 picks.
Wow.
Ooh, good for you.
Trey, I bet you I know who you're picking next.
Walking on sunshine. Who do you think?
I'm not going to pick. No, just say it. I'm not
Guess,
doing that back to you. I don't want to do it back to
I
you.
want you to guess.
No, I don't want to guess because it's not going to be right, and I don't want to guess if I'm wrong.
Can you guess? I want one of you.
Don't guess. Don't guess. Don't give him.
Don't
Don't. No, because you're going to give him
whoa.
what he wants.
I'm gonna guess that you're gonna stick at home and pick NC
Nope,
State.
I'm not picking NC State.
Wow.
I'm not picking
Look
NC
at
State.
you.
I think NC. It just when you grow up a State fan, when you were young and you see all the every single team. It doesn't matter who it is. They would always botch. You would like with NC. I remember seeing NC State like growing up, and they were always like, this is like a really good team, and then they were a 5 seed. I was like, oh, and they botch it. I mean, it's just how it goes every single time. So my next pick is going to be Louisville because they are a solidified team. They've been such a great program for the past decade, hanging around with UConn. I really like what's brewing in Louisville. Syracuse almost beat the Cardinals, but that's okay. It happens. Bad games happen, right? You know, I got Jordan Capazzi in the audit booth nodding at us too. You know, we're rolling. But you know, I'm going with Louisville. I'm rocking with Louisville as my second team. So Stanford and
make sure
Louisville.
you keep talking about your Cuse women's basketball transfers as well.
Oh yes, Emily Exler. Yeah. Emily Exler.
She's there too.
Yeah, she's there too. She's there too. All right, Danny. You went with. Can we consider Iowa a Cinderella?
No. Yeah. Can we? I think a little bit. No.
A 5. Just dark horse. Dark horse.
I think
Cinderella. Okay. You know, dark horse is like 4, 5, and 6 seeds. But when you get 7 and below, I think that's Cinderella.
Yeah.
I agree. We can agree on that, I think.
All right. Danny.
I'm so happy that this team got back around to me in the second round. I wasn't sure they would get back here. You talk about NC State. That's a team that botches. I'm picking the team that never botches. UConn.
Whoa! No, Danny, come on!
No!
You just ruined everything for me.
I mean, how can you bet against UConn?
You can't.
You can't.
You literally can't.
You can't.
It's literally the best women's college basketball program in history.
One of the most dominant programs in all of sports.
Paige Beckers is going to be back too.
Yeah, she's back in practice. Yeah. She is back in practice as of yesterday or the day before. The best player in college basketball.
I mean, she's back.
Yeah, the best player in college basketball is back on the court.
I should have won UConn first. Why didn't I pick her?
I'm so happy they got back to the second round.
They're going to win the tournament.
Because in Beckers stands for
they're going to win the tournament, and I should have picked them first. I knew it.
You think they're going to win it all?
I don't win it all.
What?
No. I'm not like just. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just saying it's UConn. He's right. It's UConn.
I mean, they're going to beat.
It's Gino Auriemma. It's
Gino Auriemma.
That's all I got to say.
He's a guy. He's a guy.
He is definitely a guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who is your backup now that you?
I don't. Now
that you almost like flipped the desk.
I did almost flip the desk twice. You guys are killing me over here. I guess I'll just let the team that's slipping, right? Are they slipping?
Can I guess this one?
Everybody knows who it is, Trey. It's NC State.
Westmore.
You let him slip here. I mean.
What a guy.
Yeah. It's a well-coached team. I want UConn so bad.
I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't know what's more likely. NC State making the Final Four or Westmore's face getting red in a span of 10 seconds. I would put my money on Westmore's face getting red. I've gone to a couple of women's games at Reynolds Coliseum, and I've sat second row from the top. And it's like a tomato. He gets so angry so quickly. I'm like, how does this guy have a voice by the end of the game? I mean, he's doing a great job. It's working. Yeah. He's really built something awesome there at NC State. So,
all right. Well,
I like this.
State.
South Carolina and NC State.
I got one more.
You do have one more.
I got another one here.
Round pick?
Indiana.
Oh, the team that beat NC State in last year's Sweet 16.
Now you get stealing my pick.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
You do deserve it.
And I'm just going to highlight Mackenzie Holmes quick.
Mac.
She's scoring 17 points a game with 8.1 rebounds. I mean, she's got 26 blocks on the year. You got somebody like that leading the way. I mean, you got a really good chance to
go far.
To go far, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Danny.
Well, I got to change my strategy.
That's the fun. Hey, that's the fun of the draft. That's the fun of the draft.
I feel a bit like Mike Mayock here. I don't care what the rankings say. I'm just going with my picks. Here's what I believe.
Is that why Mike Mayock got fired? Because he went with this?
Well, let's not discuss that. Let's just get going. Give me the University of Maryland. The Lady Terps.
The Lady Terrapins. I mean, did they take out Lady, or are they still Lady Terps?
I'm pretty sure they're still the Lady Terps.
13th in the country.
Yeah, but you've got a coach that knows how to get to the end and win it all. Brendan Freese has a title.
Facts.
And you've got a star player in Angel Reese, who might just be the most underrated player in the country. I do not hear enough people talking about how good Angel Reese is. She's a star, and no one talks about it. I mean, where's the problem? I mean, you hear about Paige Beckers, you hear about Caitlin Clark, you hear about Mackenzie Holmes. Where's Angel Reese? She's good. The world needs to know it.
let's get our last picks in quickly. I'm gonna go with Arizona as my third pick, and I'm gonna wrap it up with Baylor because that's the team that's
No, Trey.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, Matt. Yes, Matt.
God.
Yes, Matt. All right. So this is my 4, and this is honestly.
Well, hold up. Let us finish the draft before you go into your 4. Yeah. Whoa. How much more full of yourself could you be?
My final 4 is gonna be the final 4.
Well, we can talk about the final 4 after. Let us finish up. We both have a pick.
If I can predict it,
Take your pick.
Very quickly, I like a school that knows how to pull an upset. Maybe not on this side of this in women's basketball.
Okay.
Give me Florida Gulf Coast.
Whoa! Ooh, exciting.
They're in the rankings.
They're
a quality
the
team.
25th team.
And we've seen Florida Gulf Coast pull a couple of tournament upsets before. Why not now?
On the men's side.
I love it.
Why not now?
Men's side could do it now.
All right, I'll wrap mine up with Iowa State. I mean, we're talking about them earlier. A tough loss for them, but they're still up there. And
Still
they're
up
gonna
there.
stay up there. They're gonna stay up there. So
Still there.
I'm
Still
content
here,
with
never
that
left.
pick. I'm content with that pick, even though I got the 2 that I really wanted stolen.
All right, so that was our women's final 4. We're going to run through it real quick. Matt has South Carolina, NC State, Indiana, and Iowa State. That's a really good final 4.
A lot of red.
Really good.
I didn't want all red. I wanted green and blue too, but that's not happening.
There's Danny for you. Iowa, UConn, Maryland, and Florida Gulf.
He's got the sleeper teams.
That is a wild.
He's got the sleepers. I really like it.
And then
I really like it.
mine, which I will say is the best. Sorry.
Don't
Stanford,
apologize.
Louisville, Arizona, and Baylor.
You should think yours is the best. Yeah, you own your picks. You should think yours is the
I
best.
should think mine is the best. So now, what we're going to do, we are going to do the same thing for the men's side.
Don't steal my
And
picks.
I'm the one that goes first, right?
Yeah, go first.
I am the one that
you got the
goes
first pick.
First. And here's what I'm going to rock with. This one's pretty easy.
wonder who you're gonna
I'm going to
pick.
get it out of the way. Who do you think I'm picking?
I'm not saying, because we did this last time. I don't want to do it again.
We don't want to do it again?
No, just pick your guys.
Why
Just pick your
not?
team. Just pick your guys. Come on.
Okay,
Just pick your guys.
fine. I'm going with Gonzaga.
Whoa, okay. Not who I thought you were going to go
I'm going to
with.
go with Gonzaga.
Not who I was going to go with.
I mean, I know you guys are going to take my SEC picks, and that's fine. But
That's a good pick.
I'm
It's
just-
a really
I'm gonna
quality
put
pick.
the lock of the week, the lock of the month, the lock of the tournament, the lock of the season in my final 4.
That's what happens when they play Pepperdine and they're 23-point favorites every
Hey,
night.
don't sleep on the West Coast Conference. It's better than the ACC.
It probably is. It probably is better than the ACC. We did have this conversation.
But yeah, Gonzaga is my first pick. Who is going second, Danny?
It's a good
You're going second.
Number 2, I'm just going to keep it going in rankings order. Give me Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, Jabari Smith is looking like the number 1 pick in the NBA draft right now. Walker Kessler looking like the best big man in college basketball.
He is so
He almost
good.
5 blocks per game.
He had
Are
a
you kidding me?
triple-double the other day with blocks, points, and rebounds. Blocks.
Blocks.
That never happens. I think he had 11 or 12.
He had like 9 in the first half.
Yeah, I was watching. My jaw was like dropped the entire time watching that game.
And your jaw drops a lot.
It does, especially at that. Especially at watching a guy get 9 boards in the first, or 9 blocks in the first half.
I got a feeling you're going to give me a jaw-dropping first pick here, or second, because it's a snake. It slithers.
My second one, maybe. My first one, I'm gonna go with the Kansas JAYHAWKS.
Ooh, Spencer Pierce in the building.
Yeah. Shout out my friend Spencer Pierce for this one. That's a good team. They've got some real talent. I've watched a lot of their games, and I think that they've got a good chance to go. And with my second round pick, I know Danny has the same team as me, so I'm going with my sleeper team, Rutgers.
No!
Rutgers! Wait, was it?
That was it?
I know it was it. They've won 4 straight ranked games. Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois. They played Purdue on Sunday. They can beat Purdue. Give it to me.
Give it to him.
Give it to me.
We discussed before the show that we had the exact same sleeper
I
team.
knew we had the same sleeper team. I told you we did. It's Rutgers. I'm telling you right now. They're red hot, but they could so quickly fall off. That's what scares me about them. That they could fall off so fast of how well they're playing right now. They could just be done.
All right, let's go rapid fire here.
I'm in turmoil.
Danny, let's see. What do you got for your second pick?
For my second pick, I'm keeping it the same pattern. You know, Auburn, star big man and star other player. Give me Purdue.
Ooh.
Boil her up.
Ivy and Edie is as good of a 1-2 punch as you're going to find around the country, and that's an experienced roster.
I agree.
That is an experienced roster. They're ready to play.
You guys are just going to let me take Kentucky?
I guess we
You're
are.
going to let me take Kentucky?
Yeah.
What? Okay. Okay.
Take them. Kentucky's all yours.
I'm going with Kentucky, and
Kentucky's all yours.
I'm going with Kentucky, and I'm going with Duke as
easy
well.
Picks, Trey. Easy picks.
Coach K is going to get the attention he wanted right from the jump. It's why he announced his retirement early. Biggest attention grabber in college basketball is going to be getting his attention in the Final Four.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. If they get
He's
there.
got plot armor.
Storyline.
Yeah.
Storyline.
Everyone doing the Cascada,
Storylines.
Yep.
It's all about storylines.
All about the storylines. Coach K has it. Duke in the Final Four with Kentucky and Gonzaga. My final pick will wrap it up. Not coming yet, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm excited to give it to
Stop getting ahead of yourself. Relax, Trey.
I'm-
Relax, Trey. Stop getting ahead of yourself.
Come on. We've got some very important picks.
We do. We got 4 in between you.
You guys? Oh.
We got to all finish, but we had 4 picks before you can.
All right. I'm surprised they fell to me in the third round. Give me the Baylor Bears.
Oh, nice.
Last year's champion, still sitting here. I mean, sure, they lost some guys, but this is still an experienced roster. This is a well-rounded roster. They've got 5 or 6 guys who can take the lead any given night. And they won the title last year. They know how to do it. These players, it's not just the coach knows how to do it. These players know how to do it. They know what it takes.
Yeah.
Give me the Bears.
It's a good team.
Why
It's a
not?
really good team. All right, I got 2 picks.
Yeah, 2
And we're
picks.
done.
Wrap it up.
You both have one after me, but I've got 2 picks and I'm done.
He's not the center of the world. I'm the center.
Somehow this team fell to the end
He's
of the
just
third
sitting at
round.
the desk.
Arizona.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Give me them. Give me them. They're high in the rankings, and they're good. And I think that they're going to keep. I think that they're going to keep playing well, good basketball that they've been playing, and I think they can make a run. My final pick, however, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wow.
Johnny Davis. No! No!
Oh my God.
No!
Who was going?
Do you not guys know the name Johnny Davis? Johnny Davis might be the best basketball player in the country. Give it to me.
Wow.
I cannot believe I just got clowned for Wisconsin. That's crazy.
Wow. That was
Unreal.
I mean,
Unreal. Unreal.
I mean, the main reason I'm clowning you for Wisconsin is because I don't even think they're the best team in their own state. Give me the Marquette Golden Eagles.
Whoa!
I mean, Justin Lewis is the best player in the Big East, arguably. And the key there, Daryl Morcell, he might be the best defensive player in the country. He can shut down your star on any night.
Oh.
Who's your number 2?
Yeah, who's your number 2, bro?
Who is your number 2?
Who's your number 2, bro?
Marquette, the class of the state of Wisconsin.
All right. Here we go. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna build up suspense for this.
Oh, great.
We're gonna be quick. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be simple. We're going to Kentucky again because my last team is a Cinderella from the Ohio Valley Conference. John Morant is going to love this one. I got Murray State as my last team into the Final Four.
Okay.
When you're heating up like this and you're bringing up so much suspense and you're going to make Charles Barkley say, "Where is Murray, Kentucky?" when March comes around. It's simple. The Racers are looking great right now. Your mask just broke.
Oh, no.
It's a hard knock life for Matt Zumbolo. But Murray State will be my last team. Let's wrap it up. Gonzaga, Kentucky, Duke, Murray State as my 4. What are you doing over there, buddy?
Trying to fix my mask.
Okay, hanging in.
Hey, bro.
Okay. Danny Tao has Auburn, Purdue, Baylor, and Marquette. Matt Zumbolo has Kansas, Rutgers, Arizona, Wisconsin.
Give me it.
Wow, how'd you do that?
I tried it. I just tied it
How
up.
did you do that? That's
Boy. We recovered.
Attaboy. So, all right. Now we're going to do what we always do with No Pulp. Doesn't matter if it's, a show, episode, podcast. We're bringing you the big games, and we're going to talk about them right here. So let's do rapid fire here, guys. Just answer. Answer. Your pick. Number 11, Texas Tech. Number 20, Texas.
Texas Tech.
Texas.
Ooh, wow.
Texas.
I'm rocking with you. Texas
Let's
Tech.
go. Let's go.
Texas Tech.
Let's go.
Women's
Texas
side.
Tech.
All right. Number 22, Iowa, and number 5, Indiana.
Give me the Hoosiers.
Nope. Caitlin Clark ratio.
Caitlin Clark ratio. Caitlin Clark
ratio.
Caitlin Clark ratio. Come on.
Thank you.
Boom, baby. All right, so that was men's and women's basketball. We're going to go back and get the sticks again and take some people's lunch money because we're going men's lacrosse. Let's head down to Mikey Stadium in West Point, New York. The Black Knights of the Hudson, 10th ranked Army, welcoming number 6 Rutgers into West Point. Guys,
I think this game's at Rutgers.
who we thinking here?
Is it?
I think it's at Rutgers.
Is it at Rutgers?
I think it is at Rutgers.
It is at Rutgers, excuse me. We're going to Piscataway instead of going to West Point. So 10th ranked Army traveling to 6th ranked Rutgers. Pardon me on that, but either way, I'm still taking Army.
Yeah, you are.
Still taking Army. Brendan Nichtern is good, really good.
Well,
5 goals in his last game. Was amazing last season. Had some Patriot League accolades. It is too easy. Army.
I'll bounce right against you with Rutgers.
I'll take Army.
Ooh.
I'll take Army.
Go Army. Beat Navy.
It's not Navy. They play Rutgers.
That too. Beat Rutgers. Beat everyone.
Go Army.
Beat everyone.
Rutgers. That doesn't. That's
Beat everyone. All right, here we go. Last one. This is a really good one. I'd say this is the best one on the docket.
Oh, definitely.
3rd ranked Syracuse and 4th ranked Stony Brook. We saw this Seawolves team come into the Dome a couple of years ago and beat the Orange. And Stony Brook is a team that cannot compete for a conference title. They have to go with the at-large bid route because they're moving to the Colonial Athletic Association after this season. Guys, Stony Brook already playing with a chip on its shoulder, and head coach Joe Splina, shout out Joey Splina, he's loving this mentality. Cuse for Stony Brook. Go.
It's Lacrosse Legends Day in the Dome. How can you pick against Cuse?
Exactly.
Right.
You can't pick against Cuse.
Easy. So
Give
much
me the
suspense.
Orange.
So much suspense for all of us to just say Syracuse.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. Really fast.
Yeah.
Just give us the orange.
How Syracuse by how much? How about that, real quick? 5.
Syracuse by 5. I'll take Syracuse by 6.
Ooh.
Going Syracuse by 8.
Wow.
Going Syracuse by 8. I say Syracuse gets a statement win.
That would be a very statement
Little
win
rusty
for the orange.
against Stanford. Crushed it against Binghamton. So that's going to wrap it up for the return of the No Pulp Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV Sports for all the latest updates you need in whatever sport it is on the hill. We've got you covered here in our Citrus TV studios. That's Matt Zumbolo. That's Danny Tal. I'm Trey Redfield. We were saying so long. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you.